Many businesses judge pipeline health by looking at stage volume. How many opportunities are sitting there? How full the stage looks? How active that part of the pipeline appears? From the outside, that can feel logical. A crowded stage looks like strong demand. It looks like movement. It looks like enough opportunity is still alive in the system. But stage volume is not the same as stage strength. A stage can look full while converting poorly. That distinction matters because a stage only adds value if opportunities are actually crossing into the next meaningful condition with enough consistency, with enough consistently. If that is not happening, the stage is not proving health. It is only holding accumulation. This is where many businesses start reading the pipeline incorrectly. They see a large number of opportunities inside a stage and assume that the stage is working. But the more important question is different. How many of those opportunities are actually becoming the next stage? That is what reveals whether the pipeline is flowing well or merely collecting cases. Because a crowded stage can mean two very different things. It can mean strong throughput, or it can mean weak conversion that is causing opportunities to build up without progressing cleanly enough. Those are not the same reality. And if the business only looks at volume, it may confuse congestion with strength. This is why stage-to-stage conversion matters more than stage volume. Volume shows presence. Conversion shows whether the stage is actually moving opportunity forward with enough quality to support a healthy pipeline.
What makes this mistake dangerous is that volume feels more visible than conversion. A team can look at a stage and immediately see that many opportunities are inside it. That creates comfort. There is activity. There is weight. There is something to talk about. But conversion is less obvious. It requires the business to ask what is actually happening to those opportunities over time. Are they progressing? Are they crossing into the next condition? Are they earning movement or only remaining present? That difference changes everything. Because a stage with high volume can still be weak if too few opportunities are leaving it in a healthy way. Now the stage looks important, but it is not helping the pipeline as much as it appears to. It is only holding opportunity weight without converting enough of that weight into forward flow. This is where stage volume starts creating false confidence. The business sees a full stage and assumes future movement is forming. But if conversion is low, that fullness may only be evidence that opportunities are getting stuck there. That is not strength, it is congestion. And congestion inside the pipeline is one of the easiest things to misread as health. This is why stage-to-stage conversion is a better signal. It shows whether a stage is actually transforming opportunity into progression, not just collecting visibility that looks reassuring on the surface.
This is why stage volume should always be read together with what leaves the stage, not only what enters it. A stage may keep filling up for two very different reasons. More healthy opportunity is arriving, or too little healthy opportunity is making it out. Those two conditions create similar volume, but they mean very different things. That is why conversion matters so much. It tells the business whether the stage is truly functioning as a productive part of the flow, or merely becoming a storage point for unresolved opportunity. Without that distinction, the pipeline becomes hard to trust. A team may keep feeding a stage that already looks full, without realizing that the real issue is not inflow, it is weak outflow. Now the business sees activity, but misses the bottleneck. The stage looks alive, but the conversion underneath is not strong enough to support healthy movement. This is where stage volume starts distorting interpretation, because what looks like strength may actually be accumulation, and accumulation only helps if it is being turned into progression. If it is not, the stage becomes heavier without becoming healthier. That is the real reason stage-to-stage conversion matters more than stage volume. It shows whether the stage is contributing to flow or quietly slowing it down while still looking important.
This is also why stage-to-stage conversion improves diagnosis. A crowded stage tells the business where opportunity is sitting. Conversion tells the business whether that opportunity is actually changing condition. That is a much more useful signal. Because pipeline health is not created by where cases are stored. It is created by whether opportunities keep moving forward with enough consistency to support the next part of the flow. If conversion weakens, the problem becomes clearer. Now the business can ask why the next stage is not being earned often enough. Is qualification too soft? Is the next step too unclear? Is timing too slow? Is handoff too weak? Is confidence too high before the opportunity is truly ready? Those are better questions than simply asking why a stage looks full. A full stage may only be showing the symptom. Conversion starts revealing the cause. That matters because better diagnosis creates better action. Instead of pushing more activity into a stage that already looks crowded, the business can examine what is failing to turn presence into progression. That is the real value of reading conversion. It makes the pipeline easier to understand as a system of movement, not just a set of containers. And once that shift happens, the business becomes much better at telling the difference between a stage that looks strong and a stage that is actually helping the pipeline flow.
Stage-to-stage conversion also protects prioritization, because once the business sees which stages are converting well and which ones are not, it becomes easier to decide where attention is actually needed. Without that visibility, attention often follows stage volume. A full stage feels urgent. A crowded stage attracts discussion. A large number of open opportunities creates pressure by default. But if conversion is weak, that urgency may be misleading. The business may keep focusing on the size of the stage instead of the quality of movement inside it. That leads to bad allocation. More time goes into reviewing what is piling up, less time goes into fixing what is preventing progression. This is why conversion is such an important operating signal. It reveals whether the stage deserves confidence or intervention. A stage with healthy conversion may not need much attention, even if it looks busy. A stage with weak conversion may need immediate action, even if the volume does not look dramatic yet. That is a much better standard, because it allows the business to respond to flow quality, not only to visual pressure. And once that happens, the pipeline becomes easier to manage, with more precision and less guesswork. That is what makes conversion more useful than stage volume. Volume shows where cases are collecting. Conversion shows where the business should actually start paying attention.
This is also why stage-to-stage conversion improves forecasting. A stage with many opportunities can feel encouraging. It looks like enough value is still building. But if too few of those opportunities are actually crossing into the next meaningful condition, the forecast is being supported by stage presence, not by stage performance. That is risky. Because forecasting should not depend on how much opportunity appears visible inside a category. It should depend on how reliably that category is turning opportunity into forward movement. If conversion is weak, the stage may still look substantial, but it is not producing enough progression to justify the same level of belief. That is where later revenue surprises begin. Not because the stage was empty, because the stage was underperforming while still looking full enough to feel safe. This is why conversion is such a strong forecasting signal. It shows whether opportunity weight is actually becoming future flow, or only remaining trapped inside a stage that looks populated. That difference matters because a healthy pipeline needs more than visible inventory. It needs enough transition strength to keep future revenue believable. And once the business starts reading stage-to-stage conversion clearly, forecasting becomes less dependent on appearance and more dependent on whether the pipeline is truly moving forward with enough consistency to trust. That is the real point. A stage should not look healthy just because it is full. It should look healthy because enough opportunity is actually crossing through it with enough consistency to keep the pipeline moving. When that standard is missing, volume becomes comforting in the wrong way. The business sees presence, but not performance. And once that happens, stage count starts hiding weakness instead of revealing strength. That is why stage-to-stage conversion matters more than stage volume. Volume shows where opportunity is sitting. Conversion shows whether the pipeline is truly flowing or only appearing busy.